I'm a 56-year-old single mum of one. My daughter and I were having struggles um, communicating. She's a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, um, and she's got the usual teen stuff going on. So she's hormonal and brain changes and all that stuff going on. And we weren't communicating properly. So I wasn't helping her and she wasn't helping me. I needed to find a way to get through to her in a better way than I was doing at the time. I was recommended to Usha through a friend of a friend, and it transpires that there are other people that know Usha too.
Okay.
Um, it was always a very easy introduction. I mean, straight away, there was a good relationship. Straight away, I felt that I could trust her. And straight away, um, I knew she knew what she was doing. I knew that it was um, going to be very helpful. I was very stressed, very upset. I was struggling to get my daughter into school. I wasn't understanding her problems and she wasn't understanding my problem. It was a real struggle every day without fail to get her to go to school and to stay in school. And I was struggling with guilt because I was making her go to somewhere that she didn't want to go. And my frustration came out as anger. So we were butting heads a lot. During lockdown,
Mm.
it was even more difficult because I didn't have anyone to support me. My close family have health issues, so we weren't connecting, we weren't seeing one another. We were talking, but it's not the same. So the support network that I'd always had from when Charlotte was very small had all but disappeared. I had the constant of being on top of one another. So there were the two of us in the house, and the battles to get her to do work, and everything was a fight, and it was hard work. I was stressed to the eyeballs. I was angry. I was tearful. I was in a state. I was really unable to cope. It was a struggle. It was hard
Yeah.
work. Looking back at my history, my childhood, my teen years, my adult life, the way that things in my life had affected my thinking now, things that had happened to me in the past had affected the way I think and behave now. Losing my parents young, a rough marriage that didn't work out, and the anger that I carried from that. And Usha really helped me to see that actually it wasn't my fault. I wasn't to blame for a lot of that. It was life in general. The main benefit of having the parent coaching and looking back at some of my earlier struggles, my childhood and my teen years, made me see that actually my daughter is quite similar to me, which I hadn't
Mhm.
realized. So looking back at stuff helped me to understand my daughter better. And understanding my daughter better made it easier for me to be less angry and more um, sympathetic. It cleared up a lot of things, blocks, I suppose. Things have been a lot easier since I did the parent coaching. The parent coaching has helped me to understand myself better. And
Yeah.
understanding myself better helps me to see when I'm becoming frustrated. It's not physical, but aggressive language does stop me from building what may be a bit of a battle up into a huge fight. Helped me to understand her anxiety better and the fact that some of the time she can't help it. A
Mm.
lot of the time she can't help it.
Mm.
The situation now between my daughter and myself is better than it has been for a long time. Of course, with dealing with anxiety, depression, and stuff, well, there are highs and there are lows. At the moment, we're in a low and things are quite tough, but I don't feel quite, well, I don't feel anywhere near as anxious as I did about her not being in school, about her not getting her grades, about all that stuff. I'm more aware of her mental health issues than I was. And therefore, we're not fighting as much as we were, arguing as much as we were. Much calmer. I sleep a lot better, which surprised me. But after the first session, the first parenting session, I slept like a log for a week. It was lovely. It's been very helpful in as much as I'm more in control of me and therefore the situation. Parenting coaching with Usha is not you have to do this and you have to do that. She's very good at getting you to look at yourself and your child or your situation and helping you to understand your own behavior and change that behavior so that the situation doesn't arise as badly or as often. These things do still happen, but not to the extent that they did by any stretch. And Usha has helped me to understand myself in order to understand my behavior and how it affects my daughter. Thank you very much for your help, your support, your friendship. The relationship between a counselor or a coach and a client can't be forced. It is or it isn't. And our relationship is good, and I trust you. And because I trust you, it works.
Mm.
So you are trustworthy, therefore I am comfortable, therefore you can help me and my child. Thank you.